gentlemen, welcome once again to the weekly WAYPN.
Pew, 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 pew.
Wow.
I'm Sunny, and he's Cal, also known as Henry and Sangita.
I see she's stolen from me. Alright, so let's start off with Joseph. So, Joe, he was saying in the comments for this one up here that he's actually trying for painted metal.
Yeah, so
right?
Metal with the spray
and he also
paint
said it
metal.
here, right?
Yeah.
It's green metal, not metallic green like a tank, right? Now, I think it's going to be very difficult to pull off painted metal and get that sort of across in the miniature unless you have like chips underneath.
Yeah, so in that sense, it's actually double work for you because you have to create that two different effects on the guy. I know what it looks like in my head. It's a very sort of quote unquote anime. The way that they do the coloring style. I see it in my head. I just need to go and find the picture to show you what I mean. I think I know what you're going for, but when you see the picture, you'll understand that it's a bit of a, I think it would be way too time consuming.
All right.
Trying to pull it off, that's all.
So, essentially, Jojo, what we're saying is this, that we don't think it fully comes off the effect that you're trying for. I still think the creams and all of that are good, right? I think it's a nice color. I think you've done well with the highlights.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But we judge based off your aims, not based off like
what we see here, right?
Yeah,
It's like, if let's say this is what you have, but you were trying for something else, then we have to tell you that whether or not you pulled it off, obviously.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Well, we hope that's helpful, essentially. And next up, we have now we have
something.
a rare opportunity. So we might be going a little faster. So I'm going to pause this video for 1 sec. So we just wanted to double check how to say the name Majoracy.
Yeah.
We hope that we got it right.
Yeah.
But one of the reasons that we're a bit excited is we're actually found time to see someone this week, and we're like, yes, we would like to see friend, please.
Friend.
But yeah, so he's been doing up this.
It's epic.
So the Legio Ignatium?
It's one of those dreadnoughts.
No, it's not a dreadnought.
Then what is?
It's a Titan. This is actually for that that Titan game, right? Where like, so this would probably be about the size of this, I think. Like,
is it?
Yeah. When I say this, I should.
The Blue Yeti mic.
Yeah, not at the stand, just this part here.
Really? I thought it was much bigger than that. I thought it was as big as this.
In 40K, it's really, really massive. But
yeah, I know. But like as a model size, I'm thinking it's as big as this.
So let's take a look. And I basically asked him, what he was aiming for, all of that sort of jazz. And he said, well, this is the best paint job I've ever done. So we're going to judge at character level sort of thing. And what that means is your personal best.
So, but it does look like he was aiming for showcase. It looks.
I think it looks really good, but I do think that there's a couple of areas where he can improve, right? But I think first things first, this is a very, very good paint job.
Very good paint job.
So I like the plasma. It's a bit undersold, compared to the rest of it.
Because the brightness is not as apparent, do you think?
Yeah, no. But I mean, like, I'm certain that that's deliberate, right? And I know it's a choice, but what I'm saying is, right, despite it being a choice, when it comes to this sort of thing, right, I think that it doesn't come across as well as it could have, right? That the reason I say that is because everything else here, right, is done up very sort of ornately, and I think you've got to match like to like with that sort of thing. I think
is it because there's not a lot of OSL to reflect it that it doesn't quite bring out the effect of that.
But what I'm saying is,
plasma.
I'm saying he painted it well, and I know it's a deliberate choice, but I'm saying if you make that deliberate choice and the rest of your thing is quite, ornate, is quite, loud, it's not going to come out as well. So, like, I think if this was very sort of battle damaged, very sort of, like, drab, that would match that. And I think that would look really good. But I think with how it is, I think that it would be better if he made it, like, really intense. And like I'm saying, I know it's a deliberate choice, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying it's not as noticeable against these big
like all those
yellow
other
cauldrons
details.
And that. The industrial striping is just fantastic. The industrial striping is absolutely fantastic. Now, there was one thing that I wanted to say about the basing, right? So when it came to this, right, I felt as if it had a bit of the floating leg syndrome. You see what I mean when you take a look here?
Yeah, from that angle, yeah.
And here. I think it would probably be better if, like, you sanded down the things onto it right, maybe even crack them a little to give that idea of the just unimaginable weight of this machine.
Yeah, okay.
Because it doesn't convey the scale.
He may not be trying to crush that rock. He's probably just resting his foot on a rock. But even then, it would have probably crushed something a little bit, trying to rest its foot on something.
Yeah. So I think it like the posing, all of that looks really good. I think that he's done really well with his metal. I think that the yellow looks absolutely fantastic.
The only thing I would say as an improvement is that it could be the picture. We do a slight photo editing to make things pop and look a bit better on footage, right? I think maybe the base is far too red as compared to all the red.
He hasn't done the rimming yet,
But yeah, because I mean, obviously you can't change anything now. Everything's done and all that. But I'm just saying, in future, if there's a similar thing,
he might be able. He might do a bit more on this. I don't know. But so here's my recommendations. Right. First off, what I really like is what he's done here. See how he's dirtied the feet, sort of thing, right?
Yes.
But nothing else. That is spot on and like whether intentional or not, I do believe it is intentional, but the whole thing with that gives this the idea of how epic and huge it is, because you see all these shiny metal plates here, right? They would remain shiny because they're going to be completely untouched by the battlefield, right? This thing is, I think, in the lore, it changes how tall it is, but I think it's 30 meters tall or 50 meters tall. I'm not sure, but it is rather large. And like how he's got the feet here a bit sort of like a bit of grime and muck on that. I think that that's really good. But I think the next step for him with that, right, would just be to add some... what's the dust we use? Pigment powder. Some crushed pigment powder, or like other people have.
You don't have to use pigment powder, because I find pigment powder is quite expensive, but you could try just brown eyeshadow. It's easy to get.
You're talking about eyeshadow. That's pretty expensive.
Like the one piece colors from like pharmacies are pretty fairly cheap as compared to getting like one stick of pigment powder, you know.
Yeah, pure pigment. Yeah.
So
But-
in my opinion, it's better,
But
more accessible.
in my opinion, that's what would really help add to it, right? I think that the grime is spot on, right? I also really like the scroll work that he's done, right? I think this is an absolutely fantastic paint job. I think you should be really proud of it. I hope that you don't take any of our criticisms as, you know,
Being harsh or mean
Yeah.
or whatever. It's just
What-
purely feedback.
yeah, what we're trying to do is, if this is your personal best and you're aiming for higher, right? We're trying to give you the feedback that we think could help you aim higher.
Yeah, my commentary is mostly that technical wise you've already got it down pat,
Yeah.
but I'm saying that certain color choices could have been better. Like, okay, now looking again at the rocks, right? Maybe he was going for like a really bloodied battlefield because they're like stomping
I
around
think
everywhere.
it's because it's Mars.
Oh, if it's Mars, then okay, you can't do anything about that. But like, one, if you know that it's Mars and it's gonna be mostly red, maybe the Titan himself could be a different color, a cool tone color.
We'll see. He's trying to match that
The
to
faction?
to the faction. So I
Okay,
don't
then
think
then forget about it. Then in that, well, if that's the case, then the second point I was gonna bring out is the plasma gun could have been like a turquoise, a blue green instead of the yellow green that you've chosen there, because it's very close to the hazard stripe yellow and the rest of the yellow, that bright, what we call cold tone yellow. So I think that would have really popped off the model if you didn't want to go with that strong OSL effect that Henry and I were talking about earlier. I think a blue
Yeah,
tone green
that
will
could
just be
work.
enough to
The-
give that contrast with everything else. So
the other thing is, when you were talking about all of this, so let's say he's going to use one of those fallen titans, like what he has here, right? He could also, even if it is Mars, right? You could have all sorts of like wrecked debris, debris, all of this sort of thing, mechanical scraps, right? To give that extra contrast. So let's say that he's stepping onto like ruined buildings, things like that. And that would allow you to have color contrast there, like say blue buildings, you know, bluish grey, you know, crushed underneath, and that way you can have contrast there.
yeah.
Anyway, what we do want to say is that you've done really well.
Excellent job.
And, like, I think this is an amazing paint job. I hope you take the feedback on board. I hope that it helps. All right. Next up, we've got Cal. And we saw a photo with Cal, and we're no longer sure that Cal is...
Actually a dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Cal's a lady, and I feel a bit embarrassed because yeah, we've been referring to him as a man this whole time. And
Well, so...
well, please correct
Or
us.
it might be his lady, but either way,
Who knows?
just tell us.
Yeah,
either
please
way.
tell us.
So, first off, I like the color choices with this sort of bronzer.
Is it bronze?
I think it's sort of bronzy.
It doesn't really look bronzy.
I'd say that looks.
Oh,
bronze.
that's bronze. No, yeah, but I mean, like I was looking at the armor
look at
plate.
that.
It looks very green yellow.
Yeah, it looks bronzy to me.
I think the straps look bronzy. Yeah.
Not the straps, the actual this bit.
No,
Right
no,
here.
no. The straps look bronze, but the actual armor chain, whatever mail, I think that part looks very greenish yellow to me. So I'm not really sure what that.
But anyway,
So I mean, these are more undead guys, clearly.
no, these are orcs, honey.
Oh, orcs. Sorry.
Well, they might be goblins, but there is one thing. I do think, like, with some of them, it comes out well. Like, having that blue there, having the red there, that does well. but I feel like they're all sort of one tone.
Yeah. There's too much warm tones, mostly yellow tones in this piece. I think you could break it up with a lot more other cool tones, maybe like a cooler reds and more maybe oranges, or some of the greens could be more bluish greens, and that'll help break things up a bit.
Well, what I think is this is good right here with the straps, right? And with the metal over here. I think maybe say this thing right here was a steel rather than another bronze. That would help separate things.
Yeah.
I think having the
Bright red archer bow is good.
Yeah, I think having the blue neck thingy is good. I think him having this, like, I think once again, you said a lot of yellow. I think
that helps with that.
yeah, just having those areas of separation. And I think once again, the basing. What I would really love to see with this is some cool blue rocks and some dark green shrubs or something added to it. And I think that would help add needed contrast.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, they're good. They're great for tabletop. All right. Next up, we have Joseph and his itty bitties.
Yes.
So
naughty.
The only thing I will ask Joseph is, because it's public, if you could do some blanks so that
for some of the more NSFW stuff.
do some blanks so that people have to
scroll down to see some of it.
Yeah.
So that it's not like right off the podcast. We don't know who.
Yeah.
Sometimes children we don't know.
Yeah, well, see, the thing is, we don't mind, and I don't think most of our members mind. But since it's a public thing,
everyone and anyone can see it. So to be safe,
Because if somebody went looking for it and get offended, that's their own fault.
I like the face.
They look a lot better now. So
yeah.
All right, shall we read out?
Almost done working on the steel, then it's the hand grips. And finally the touch-ups, lots of touch-ups. I also started work on the lonely lady. She's a lonely lady, alright.
I don't know why.
I was heavy enough with she flesh tones until I saw this pic on my phone. She might need more work.
Well,
oh dear.
Don't send her to the doctor. She's probably fine. It's not a weight problem, I'll tell you that much.
I do like how the skin tones come out. It's very nice.
But I think these are looking a lot better now, like compared to where we were.
Yeah.
And I think those little bits are, so you know how we were talking about having bits of metal popping out, so you see on the shin guard how it's got the little bits of metal. I think that looks a lot better. And I think
she's got
the
braided
highlights
hair.
have come up a lot more.
I think they are looking very anime at the moment with
But I mean that is what it's kind of is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well then, that's good, I guess. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with trying to go for anime style. I'm just saying, it reminded me of anime, especially the guy, cause he had the eye was significantly larger. Like one could see it all the way from here. The pupil. It's good stuff.
But yeah.
So yes.
It does look a bit plain at the moment.
But I think that's just his starting point, right?
Yeah, he said that he was pretty happy with it.
Yeah, it looks like one of those doll figurine types. They usually have that very matte.
Yep.
Almost one-tone skin look. So I think that's okay.
Yeah. And thank you everybody for welcoming our new guests, and hopefully we'll see something from the newer ones soon. All right, so
Cian says, been trying out a way to do plasma for the models of the Imperium. I'm happy with do far, but I was thinking meant to say so far, but no more could be done. Base coat Corex white, first cover ultramarine blue, second cover aimed 50% plasma area Frost Heart, mixed blend of 1:2 or ultramarine and then Frost Heart. Topmost very watered down Corex white at the top. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's coming out a bit, but I do think that there's one trick that you really want to learn, which is surface tension and using white. So one of the things that you can do with this is paint water onto there, right? And then dab most of it off, and then just get some very, very, very thin down white, paint it on there, and it'll go into all of those cracks.
Yeah, like almost like a wash.
Yeah, almost like a wash, and that will really make it just
pop. Yeah. Well, here's the thing about light cyan, especially colored light. When you go brighter to the actual source, right? If it's not a yellow, because yellow would be the brightest color in the spectrum. Any other color, the brightest spot would be the most saturated color. It's not the most tinted color. So you would not use white as your highlight. You would use a bright, like for example, let's say you paint red, you go from a dark red and you go to like a super bright red, like fire engine red, if you know what I'm talking about, like very, very bright red, and not like mix it with white. That is what I'm trying to say. So with the blue, your brightest color, especially with this blue, would be a cyan, literally your name, color. That would be, you could just get like that super bright turquoise color on the top.
I don't think it's coming out bad.
It's not bad, but I'm saying that is usually what sells the OSL or the bright light effect for colored light.
Yes, yeah. I do think that there's one big thing that also needs to be done with it, which is the OSL effect, which is object source lighting. So it has to have a radiating out, because like if it looks super bright and it's not going anywhere, it's like it doesn't feel right.
Yeah, it breaks the verisimilitude, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
But it's coming along really nicely.
And yes, we decided to do a topic we wanted to do, and thus we fail.
As in, we didn't get as many views.
Yeah. Instead of getting tens of thousands of views,
nobody cares about this stuff.
Yeah, they're like, why is community important then? And they're like, talk more about
Warhammer.
But yeah, so next up we have Alan.
It's Alan. Look at it. Hobby update. Going to work the black armor last. So right now I'm working on all the other parts. Well, it looks fantabulous. Fantasmo.
So
look at that.
I just wanted to take a look at the skulls in this.
I see it now.
And see, like, I know that they're stylized skulls, unless they're bebbers, which is really, really a lot darker than 40k really should be. Maybe not the fiction, but at least the tabletop. And I'm not sure if like that. I think he's trying to contrast against the coat, and like I can get that.
Maybe
but
he
I
hasn't
feel like they're super bright.
Maybe
No. Because take a look at it. Take a look at it in this picture, right? Like he's obviously painted these. He's obviously highlighted them up and gotten to all of it. But I guess the issue is like you're trying to contrast against this cream cloak. Mm-hmm. So, what are your thoughts? That's what the people want to hear.
The thing is, I don't know the context behind why there are embedded skulls there in the first place. See, so
it's Lionel Johnson's sword.
Why does he have the skulls?
I don't know, because he's an edgelord.
I don't know what to say.
He's an original Sonic character.
I really don't know what to say on that, because yes, he's most probably trying to contrast that with the cream cloak that he's got going on. I guess you could dirty it up with some pigment powder or eyeshadow, as I recommend.
Well, I feel like some of here like there's a bit of the what do you call it? The pooling with the colors. I feel like it could, but like over here it looks very nice and even. But then over here at this bit,
it's a bit too obvious, yeah?
Yeah, it looks a bit too pulled. But I think the reason it looks pulled is because he did the highlighting.
Ah, yeah, it's got the edge highlighting.
Yeah.
So it will look significantly more in contrast, but...
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it?
Well, other than that, I think it's obviously really well done. I mean, look at the detail work on all the other metallic stuff and the hilt of the sword and the...
Yeah, it's on its way, but I mean, like, he's obviously putting it up so that people comment, you know?
Yeah, I've commented.
Alright, now that my missus has abandoned you, I didn't. I gave it my best go. Alright, so this was just an update.
Oh, yeah. I was like, ooh, so nice. Whose is this? And I was like, oh, it's yours.
But yes.
Skip it. No, that's it.
this guy is a bit of a pain in the teeth.
I really don't understand that model. Yeah. Like, okay, the story is that it's a psyker's head and he's using the person behind him as a blood bank to fuel him, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that has some relevancy, but what's with all the candles?
You know, Joseph, you are really trying to make this a not safe for work area because, like, you take a look at all of this, you see the previous is an itty bitty model.
What is this? What's going on here? What's going on here, Joe?
What have you done? What have you done? Alright.
Advice wanted. Advice. Okay. This is 5 thick cocktail.
I'm going to cut around the card tonight. I'm going to try and use scissors, but perhaps swap to a box cutter. I'll sand down the edges after, perhaps with a cheap Dremel knockoff.
Oh no.
Shut up. Alright.
Oh, yeah, I'm afraid of chips breaking off. It's gonna chip and it's gonna break off.
Alright, you know what? He looked for advice. I gave him some advice.
This is me.
Joe, I'm sorry, but this looks like something.
Incorrect. Heresy. Now, okay, wait, let's just take it serious for a second. Like, fine, what is he actually trying to do?
This is my first time. He was trying to make movement trays. He updates it later.
What's a movement tray?
It's a tray for moving all of you guys together.
Okay.
Alright, so next up is me.
Oh, look at that.
Apparently you guys liked it. Thank you very much.
I think it looks really nice. Especially that dude with the muscle neck at the back.
The dude with the muscle neck.
I mean, look at it. It's just meat neck.
Well,
like Baki.
I do think that the bases are a nice contrast to them and help set them in place. Because they do all look like terrible, horrible, awful people from the terrible, horrible, awful land.
Look at the meat neck.
Yes, the meat neck.
That is the star of the show, everyone. The meat neck.
Unfortunately, that white shirt doesn't really come out in camera, because I spent a lot of time highlighting it.
It looks white.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like, it's so bright.
Yeah, it is very bright.
With the reflectiveness is just like the camera just goes turn white to 100%.
But to see this right, the white is the only thing that I would say as commentary is not in line with the chaos theme, obviously.
Oh, I just wanted Tim to have a white t-shirt to contrast against all the darkness.
Which I understand, but I'm just saying, as a thematic.
He can have a white tank top that's been ripped and.
He can have a white tank top, guys.
This is who I deal with. Yes. Would you like to do reading?
Ooh, Carrie say, Wednesday whip. Making a display board for my Age of Sigmar army. It's taken all priority at the moment. Also motivating me to get the models done for it. I've been 3D printing rings to protect and use the models for intended resin pour base. And recessed bases in the foam. Cool. So this is a display board, all right.
Yeah, I do believe so, but like, I asked her to go through the plan. Now I'm going to click this. Pray for me.
Okay.
It came up, and nothing has gone wrong yet. You want to read out?
The plan is a rocky outcropping bordered along a swamp. My head law says it's a ruined temple site, which is why there are various broken pillars and carved stone steps. Since that time, it's fallen away, leaving behind caverns and ruins and become overgrown. The bottom wood is going to almost entirely be resin-poured swamp base with the gut rippers.
Yeah. You always call that colour Gutripa. Gutripa flesh.
Gutripa flesh.
And I'm like, who is this woman you know? Gutripa.
I think if they put a dash between gut and ripper, I would definitely pronounce it correctly.
Yes.
But anyhow, and hobgrots hiding in the tall grass. Cattails and reeds. I'm 3D printing rings for the models to recess into so they can become one with the scenery, while also be removable after the... Ooh, okay,
Yes,
yeah,
like
that's
when
cool.
she said resin pour, I was just like...
No. Dun, dun, dun. The walls are going to be rock, using modeling compound and molded rock from Plasticast. The top will result in more overgrown forests and some evidence of being built up via small parts, rocks, etc. This is mostly for a display shelf to hold my models and currently holds and is shown every model in the Cruel Boys model line, excluding those from non-Age of Sigmar games and exclusive sculpts. To do is to finish the recessed rings for the models to sit in, magnetize it because why not, and then add the modeling compound to finish terraforming the space to get final canvas before priming. I also am working on finishing painting the models from the board itself.
There is something that I'll add to this because we've been super busy, so I haven't been able to give the sort of responses that I should be giving, right? Remember, when you prime, you should, if you're going to be doing a resin pour, you really want to be doing 2, maybe 3, maybe even 4 layers of the Mod Podge style prime. Now, if you don't know what the Mod Podge style prime is, it's where you get Mod Podge paint,
the glue, right?
Glue.
Yeah.
Mix it with paint, and then put it on, or just like multiple seals of the Mod Podge. And the reason that you want to do this is essentially this: if you don't, the resin gets everywhere. Like,
it will find a way to leak.
Yeah, no, like, there's a reason why resin is the final nightmare of every hobbyist ever. I do really like the idea of those 3D rings that she's talking about so that you can take the guys in and out.
Yeah.
That sounds very interesting. I'm liking the sound of that. But at the moment, I know she's got a plan and like I can kind of see it visualized, but I think once those rings go in, you know, we'll have a better idea. I can sort of see it start going together, but as we've always said, once you get some paint on a big project together, like we were saying with Stevens last week, was it?
Yes. Steven. He
like
did the frog one.
When we were saying that, once you get some paint on it, it helps unify everything. And it's no longer this random collection of stuff, right? It's all of it comes together and starts making sense. So yeah, just look out for that resin. That resin will knock you. It'll really stuff you up if you let it. So we want to wish you good luck.
Good luck.
And we look forward to seeing the updates. All right, next up. We got Justin.
Justin. Just in case, working on my first ever towel. No, kidding. Going for a dynamic pose, which turned out much like the blood I completed previously, but it looked right for the model. Still have some filling of gaps. Little bit of work on the sword handle, wraith guard, blade, and the shield. Also shield drone. I like the model and look forward to finishing the prep and getting some primer on him. Deathwing Terminators are coming on slowly with gradual glazing to bring the bone back from the wash I did. Wasn't happy with the lack of depth, so washed them again with a shade. And now building up the layers on the main panels. Hope you like.
Alright.
Wow. Yeah, he is very peachy, eh? Does look quite peachy. But the second guy next to him looks quite on the bonier side. But I think you've done very nicely with the sort of recesses and what else we got here. So obviously I don't know too much about this Space Marine faction, is it? So I see that the Aquila is a dark gray color. So I think it's going to be one of those fancy different colored type Aquilas that different factions seem to have. But so far, yeah, it's coming along. I like I said, the guy, I can see that you're trying to bring it back. The one on the, is it my left? No. Yeah, my left is...
This is why I fear when we have you in the car.
Well, yes, honey. I haven't driven
for a little while
in circles in a while.
You also haven't crashed the car in a little while.
I almost crashed it.
You kind of did.
Yes. Well, it was into the grass actually. So
it was off a cliff.
It was not a cliff. It was a road that was raised a bit more than the grass.
It was hanging off the edge. No.
It was not a cliff. Don't listen to him. It was not a cliff.
It was not a big cliff.
It was a residential area, guys. Come on. Honey, please. Don't make people think the wrong things.
Yes. I'm not talking Looney Tunes style, but it was a small cliff.
A small divot in the side of the road.
Alright, so we had Jason respond to the Tips Thursday, and we really like to see when you guys respond because, you know, like, responses is what it's all about. And basically he was saying the same thing, that he gets a bit sick of evil, but...
Ooh, fancy.
I thought she's not quite finished even still, but mostly done. She just needs her gun done up and her
walking stick of a hand.
Yes,
the hand is
stick.
The hand literally is the walking stick.
But I thought my commentary was good with the I don't like the evolution of this Pokemon. But I don't know how the sort of, I wanted it to be chaos scrawlings. I don't know how that came across.
Oh, well, it definitely looks chaotic. But like, yeah, that's the only thing that I would say. But you've already heard my commentary that I think the paper scroll could be a little bit brighter to contrast against the other sort of brownish tones that you've already got going on. But you've already got the scrolling on there, so like I can't change it. But I didn't like how the mutation that's growing in the middle of the staff looked before we've done the red. Because it looked like a sickly flesh that was coming out.
Because now it's just it up a bit.
Then because now it does look like the Pokemon that's trying to come out and it's not coming out. The human transmutation, but because of watching the Full Metal Alchemist.
Yes, you're very excited. But look,
oh wow! Look at these.
It is the week of the ladies. The ladies are posting non-stop.
Whoa.
You should take pictures of the butterfly wings that you have done.
Well, it's not really butterfly wings, but it's
Lucifer.
Lucifer, but the way that it looks right now really does look like butterfly fairy wings. But we're doing another sort of, we're filming the process of doing the galaxy effect on the wings.
Yes, there you go, Cian. Galaxy effect.
Yeah. Not sure. if I'll get any more painting in today, because my toddler is acting a fool. So here's my whip, Hell's Gate from Dwarven Forge. My plan is to go a bit more stone church color vibe than their factory painted one, which is Surrey black or red heavy. I just think it'll blend better with the rest of my stuff. Love all the little details and looking forward to painting them.
You know, the way you say that, you know, there's going to be people's phones activating. You know, hello Siri.
Hello. Oh, didn't I say Surrey? Is Surrey, right? Surrey?
I'm not sure.
Cry black.
Cry black?
Curry black. Cherry black.
You shouldn't call your skin tone that.
Honey. What does cherry black look like?
No, when you said curry black.
Shut the... Nearly said it. Nearly said it. Anyhow, yes. Look at those...
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, how do
it's lava
ripplings. I'm gonna call it ripplings, and it looks really cool.
Yeah, I think it looks very nice too. Like, I'm tempted to say you could dry brush to go just a bit brighter.
Me too.
I'm not sure whether that would work or not.
Sometimes it's just a picture, right?
No. I think like if she goes potentially brighter, it won't look like proper lava because you got like that's how lava does
look. Yeah, it's like a sort of.
And like at certain parts it'll
orangey.
be super bright, and other parts
it won't be.
You'll have that sort of effect.
And the light that it reflects is not always very bright on the outside. It just looks like the thing itself is glowing, but everywhere else doesn't really have that same glowing effect. But yeah, wow, look at that.
But we do have an update on this one. She managed to get some more in. But yeah, I was really impressed by the lava effect. I think it looks really
nice. Cool.
Oh,
Wow.
so that's how it started out.
Okay.
And then I think...
So she did some airbrushing, did it? Wait, hold on.
Hey,
wait, what?
Oh, okay, no, I think this is the last picture. So this is how it starts.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
Wait a minute. It's like when the piece looks really good at the start and then it looks like really not nice. I was about to say something even more harsher than that. I was just like, really not nice. At the end of it, I was like, what? Has it de-evolutioned? What happened? But yeah.
Wow. Empire Soldiers from
Seder Art Studios. It's from Cal.
It is.
And I will say this is one of Cal's best work.
Well, I really do like... I think Cal, like, the painting level is very consistent, but I think the colour choices are sometimes a little off.
But this is really well done.
We'll see. It's really well done because I still think that these bases need a third element, right? They've got two elements on there. They've got those different sized rocks, right? But since it's very grey rocks, you know, very sort of neutral... they're not bluish, but they certainly
Greyish?
contrast well against the green. I think that they look really good, but those brownish rocks with the hobgoblins, they didn't contrast as well. Whereas these have great parts splitting them up. So you've got the armor splitting it up, you've got the shield splitting it up, you've got the belt splitting it up, right? You got all of that going. Yeah. And essentially, I think that they look really good, but I think the difference is that with his other ones, right? Like, it's not that those other ones looked bad. It was that these ones have the right color choices.
I would say color choice and contrast, because like you can see the shading and the highlighting done in the uniform. And the skin work has come out really nice. Like I can see okay, so what I mean to say is that exactly what you mentioned tabletop level should be, right? Which is everything should be readable.
Yeah.
And that is what this is to me.
Exactly.
Everything is readable.
Yeah.
In some of the previous one is not as readable because the colors muddle together or like too much pooling or something. This is perfect.
We'll see. I think, like I said before, she We don't know now.
Cal does.
Cal does really well with the actual painting. The painting always comes out at a consistent level, but it's the color choice. And like, I think that's why we like these ones so much more. All right, can I get you to go on an adventure?
It's a Joe Sutton Adventure Day, everybody.
Yeah, do you...
Good day, y'all. I'm going to put all the photos here for #Dreadnought.
That's culture theft.
What does that mean?
I'm being silly.
No, but what is? Okay,
Good
never
day.
mind. No. Okay. It's only Australians.
Australians?
Australia might only say. Oh, by the way, I've only ever seen one Australian ever say good day. I think maybe just one. Or maybe two. And I was shocked because I was like, hey, that's a standard line. And I just put things to perspective one day for me. I was just like, you know what? People don't actually say good day as often as I thought they would. But anyway, number 4, from start to finish. This one is my boss model and meant to look like the Primarch of the Iron Hands. Now it's time to clean the building table and figure out the next part.
Haha, clean a building table. Likely story.
Anyhow, let us look at the... Ooh, okay. So it
Starter
starts
of
with...
adventure.
It starts with body parts. Oh no, it starts with sprue.
Lots of sprues.
Lots of sprue.
I see zero cleaning.
Hold on, honey. I want to appreciate
there's
things.
zero cleaning.
There's a Gorilla Glue. Oh.
Alright, this guy is still being worked on. We have seen him before.
He's got some white thing on him now.
No, that was there before.
No, it wasn't.
It was.
It wasn't.
It was.
It was not.
Now it is looking more like axe thing. And now has black thing
So
instead of steel
he's
thing.
done some carvy things to it, I think.
Yes.
Oh!
Yes, I think we have seen this bit before.
I think he's just making another one of that for this model. Because like, he's done that sort of drill axe before. Yes, the body, head.
Yes, he is very big.
Size comparison.
There is Spasmarine. Yes.
Angry face. Yeah. Look at that. Now it's on a base. And this is his chainmail back.
I really like the chainmail for this.
That's really cool. Yes, a different angolo.
Okay, he's now got something different.
He's got a claw.
Yes, he now has
the
a claw.
You know what I'm talking about, right, honey?
No, I didn't.
Claw.
But that's really cool the way that he...
is that a head?
No, these are just like little rivets that he's got. So I think they make them at Green Stuff World or something where you can just sort of cut them off.
Interesting.
And like you just put those rivets on, you just glue them on.
Right, okay. Oh, they're looking really good. Now where's the paint? Where's the paint? Oh, he still have floating neck. He
says that it comes through, but that we will see. Okay, this is looking a lot more chunky and better now. There's all sorts of scrap.
Lots of chunk.
We must remember to add the commentary, otherwise it will just become silent of us clicking through and looking
all these
at things, and we
many
just go,
pictures,
and then we just go.
Yes, pleasurable.
Hey,
look what's happened to him.
There's colour, or rather
it's
a
black,
lack of colour.
A blacking and a dry brush.
Yeah, it's a steel colour. Wait, I want to see neck. Show neck now.
Oh, look, yellow and the
yes.
red and the rusting.
Yes, the rusting is the goodness.
Very nice. Look at the chainmail. Yes.
The chainmail has come up very nicely.
Must take time to... there's the neck. There it is.
Yeah, no, it's come out a lot more now that we can see it a bit more. But I wonder if is that the green he's going to go with?
Is that really a green or just a grey? Can't tell.
It's like a green tinted grey sort of thing.
Okay.
But this has come up pretty well. I think that's come up pretty well.
Cool.
But I think it needs a bit more depth with the drill bit ones.
Yeah. Oh,
But we'll
nice,
see.
nice yellow ambering at the back.
Yeah. We need some checker patterns for it to be more orky.
Oh wow, look at it.
Okay.
It's green.
He's very sort of plastic green, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, okay. They're covered in gold.
blood, but
I think the blood needs to be more gory, less.
I think it's too
paint.
bright, is what it's saying. It's
I
too
don't know.
bright or red.
This has come together well, the rust and so on. I
Yeah.
like that. Oh no, the chainmail is now brown. He's brown, he's male.
But yeah, so it's really but it's quite too stark, isn't
Ah,
it?
there, no, that's good. This is what he needs, the checker patterning and such.
Yeah, no, I mean the chainmail dirt.
Yeah, I think that the green is the part that's not doing as well for him. It's quite stark against everything else, which is nice. But I think it feels quite rubbery.
Yeah, I maybe a matte varnish will help with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a very classic plastic green color.
Yeah. I think it's come together well, but I think like the green is quite plastic. Like I like this kind of green over here.
Yeah, like a more yellow green.
For
orcs. Yeah. That's a very blue green that he's gone for the current one, and the one at the back too.
This guy.
Yeah.
2 degrees, right? Like I think that green is fine, but I feel it is a bit plasticky.
I wouldn't have minded if he did continue on with that sort of very ash green color, and he just sort of brought that up a little bit.
Yeah. No, that would have been interesting.
Because I think I understand what he's going for. He's trying to show like variation in the orcs. Like not all orcs will be the exact same color in the skin. So I was like, oh yeah.
All right. So I think that you've done well, Joe, but I think both of us, it just popped out immediately just how much the green was
looking very plasticky.
Yeah. All right. So next up.
Oh my goodness.
She lied, or at least maybe the toddler calmed down.
The toddler calmed down.
I know, and other myths we like to tell ourselves.
Oh, looking good. Did she do masking? No.
No.
She did it all by freehand, like me. Only true artists use freehand method.
She says that because I mask. She mocks me.
I am just
every
saying
time
jokes.
she comes into the painting room. She tells
like,
me I'm not a real artist.
Superior technical skills. Oh wow!
It's looking quite nice. It's looking really
nice.
nice.
It's very creepy, eh?
Well, see, like my first thought was like, oh, maybe you could add some highlights onto it, but then like my second thought was like, this is a terrain piece. You don't want it to steal the show.
It's very good.
Yeah, I think
it's very beautiful.
I think it looks
super demonic, I will say, definitely.
Yeah, it looks very interesting.
I love the color choice, Angela. You've got like that very pale gold with that nice bronze. I think that's probably because
good choice.
Yeah, because I think
I still want a bit more shade on this though.
Like a wash. Maybe?
Yeah, just a little wash to give it some
definition. Yeah, I think because the pale gold is
so bright
in contrast with that sort of black rock look that you're going for.
I think that looks good,
and I think that sells that sort of unnatural feeling of the demonic essence or whatever this place is, right?
I think it's come together quite well.
Wonderful.
But yeah, so I just think that this gold needs a bit of depth. And I know she is aiming for tabletop and that sort of thing, but just like a little bit of extra work on these guys by just giving them just a very fine wash to add some definition to them.
Yeah.
Like-
Is this part of Dungeons and Lasers set?
No, this is Dwarven Forge. He said that on the last one.
Yes, but I don't know if that is from Dungeons and Lasers or is it
Lasons.
Lasers?
Dungeons and Lasons.
Is it Dungeons and Lasers or if it's independent?
It's Dwarven
thing?
Forge.
Yeah,
She said that.
I don't know.
I told you. You don't listen. There's some more itty bitties.
And a bouquet. I see the peach.
Alright, so
I did some more work on the Lonely Lady's flesh tonight and started on the pinup recreation suit while I was at it. It shouldn't take much to get them finished this weekend. Then I'll varnish them with the Green Knights.
so I think like some of it's come through. Like you can
I can
see
see the
around
shadowing on the
around the
tummy
stomach.
area.
Yeah. But like the top of her breasts aren't a great deal different from the bottom. You know, like that shadowing there. You know what I'm saying?
I think the thing is with flesh, like if you shadow a bit too much, it really looks a bit off. So
yeah, you're right.
So
you're right.
I think this is a good place to start with.
Oh, that's good though, because like that does reflect.
It's like
I think.
The booty flesh and the calves.
Yeah, no, that's done up very well.
Very nicely. So is she gonna be? What's her hair color like? Because I could see her being like one of those ale blonde. Blonde ale colors.
Ale blonde.
Ale.
Okay, and finally for our last one, we've got Peter.
This week's whip is a display board. Easy make using 2 pieces of cork tile.
Cool.
Okay, show me how easy this. Show me. I want to learn how to make easy cork tile myself.
You can't make the cork tile. You just buy the cork tile.
He says so easy. I want to see.
See, there's the cork tile underneath and the cork tile on top.
Huh? That's it?
Yeah, and see, then he's
drilled out some holes.
Yeah, some hollows.
Some holes.
Some hollows.
And then how do you do the ridging on the side?
I'd say that he probably cut and roughed that area.
Okay.
And then glued it
Well,
on.
show me how it's done. Where's the thing? See, he's showing it. So you use a big Ozito drill with that drill head thingy.
Yeah, I got that drill head.
And then after that you cut some strips of cork and you rough up the edges with a knife. Okay. And then
You drill.
you drill, yes.
Drilling.
Drill the hole. And then
like this.
and then you stick it on together.
Alright.
Okay, good. This is easy. Very good. You passed the test, Peter. Very well done. Very well
Alright,
done.
so once again, we're going to ask you, what are you painting now? And we hope you post it up. And we want to thank all of you for
participations, as per always.
And also, because of, we've gone to the land of death.
It's going.
We want to thank you for also participating on other people's posts, because it's that participation. It's when people get responses. That's what people love. You know, when people get other people talking to them.
Because everybody is here for one thing. Itty bitties. Kidding. It's for the feedback. It's for knowing whether or not it's only in their heads. When it's not only in their heads, sometimes people say things that are in your head, and then sometimes people tell you that it's not, and you feel good about yourself.
I'm very confused, but I think what my delightful co-host is saying is that some of the times you feel as if you haven't made the best decisions and that your work isn't as good as you think it is, and you just need somebody to tell you you've done a good job, and
it was all in your head.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might have thoughts of it being, maybe this isn't the best, and then sometimes someone else say, hey, this could be better, and then you're like, yeah, I thought the same thing, and then sometimes it's not a bad thing to have someone see the same thing as you.
Yeah, it makes you feel a little less crazy that, everybody saw the same thing that you did. But what we would like to do is thank everybody for participating, and we want to wish you a wonderful weekend.
WAYPN weekend.
Yes, WAYPN weekend.
Yes.
And we hope you enjoy the podcast.
Yes.
And we will see you later. Oh, and there's one other thing.
Oh, yeah.
What's that?
Keep those brushes wet. All right, bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.